The story starts in the world of Sadia, which is an extremely high-level planet. It is located at the front line of the Abyssal Invasion, and there is a legend that only a legendary knight superior to all supreme knights can put an end to the invasion of the Abyss. The scene shifts to Void Military Stronghold in Sadia, where the Knights of Sadia are face-to-face with the Army of Abyss. The Lord of Abyss, Thor, is on the front line and addresses the Knights. He declares that they have withstood him for 300 years, but today will be the end of them. On the other side, the Knights are being led by the legendary Knight of Sadia, Xiao Yi. He prays for the safety of the Knights and bows down and strikes his sword to the ground, casting a protection spell that will protect all the Knights. Abyss Lord Thor challenges him, stating that he, Xiao Yi, can't defeat him unless he enters his sanctuary. Thor then rushes towards Xiao Yi with a jump to finish him off. Xiao Yi takes a deep breath and mentally readies himself. When Thor is in range, Xiao Yi quickly gets up and impaled him on his sword. He uses a move called Judgment of the Holy Spirit, and many chains constructed of golden light appear and bind Thor. Thor is shocked at this, but suddenly a time-space turbulence event happens and engulfs Xiao Yi as well. This sends both Xiao Yi and Thor away. The scene shifts to a low-level blue star world, Daxia. Xiao Yi's ended up there. People notice him and many compliment his armor. A girl even touches it to feel the exquisite fashion. Xiao Yi assesses his situation and he comes to his senses. He gets up, lightning fast from where he was seated. He is shocked at the fact that he is alive and worries about where Thor might have ended up. He wonders if he can find Thor on the Web of Laws, which is the source of power for all the transcendent worlds. He raises his hand in which he's holding an orb. He uses the orb to access the Web of Laws, but there is no information about Thor. Xiao Yi wonders if Thor had died in exile. He then tries to figure out where he is. He is shocked to learn that he is in Daxia. He was transmigrated to a different world hundreds of years in the past, and now he's been sent back to his home. He turns to the girl who is touching his armor and asks her what year they are in according to their calendar. She tells him that it is the year 971, but finds his question very odd. He realizes that only 3 years have passed since his disappearance, and as there is no sign of Thor, so he decides to head home. As he stands there, his injuries heal by themselves as he stretches his wings to head home, but remembers that Daxia is an ordinary world and retracts his wings. He decides to take a taxi, but he does not have Daxia's currency. He decides to sell his armor and sword, but scraps the idea. Something clicks in his mind and he heads to a jewelry shop. He inquires if they buy gold. There is a man named Guan Jinsheng who greets him. He is the manager of the Jinfu jewelry store. He gives him a gold coin for valuation, and Guan is shocked to see the coin. He gets impressed by the workmanship of the coin. He takes it to the testing room and finds it is 100% pure gold, but there's no technology in the world that can achieve that level of purity. Guan's interests peak and he returns and sends his employees away. He tells Xiao Yi that it is 99.99% gold, and that he will pay him 40,400 yuan for it. He knows that Xiao Yi will demand more if he knows it is 100% gold and wishes that he doesn't. Xiao Yi agrees to the trade, and Guan tells him to fill in a form, and he thinks he has made a huge profit. He asks Xiao Yi if he has more such coins, but Xiao Yi just takes the money and leaves without answering. Guan quickly calls someone named Mr. Yun and tells him about the coin and offers to sell him. Xiao Yi buys normal clothes. He gets a call from Uncle Xiong, who's a policeman. Uncle Xiong scolds him for not picking up his calls and asks him to come over to meet and say something about his house and nearby area about to be demolished. After that, Xiao Yi receives a call from Hangzhou Public Child Care Center. They inform that his daughter, Xiangbyor child care time, is about to expire, and ask if he would like to renew it. He does not let them finish and cuts the call, thinking someone is trying to scam him, as he has no daughter. He gets into a taxi and tells the driver to head to Linzhong town. He arrives at his home and pays the taxi driver. He goes up to his door. He ends up breaking the handle when he nonchalantly tries to open the door. He has grown very strong during his time in Sadia. He then carefully tries to open the door, but it also breaks. Xiao Yi enters the home to find it in ruins. The place is infested with cobwebs. He looks at a picture of his mother. It was his wish to bring his dead mother back that kept him going in Sadia. But even after becoming a saint paladin, he is nowhere near to touching the Styx River. He looks around and decides to get his place cleaned up, as there is a lot to clean. He wears a ring and summons a Dijin service. Xiao Yi pays him some gold coins and asks him to clean his house and fix the door. He then heads out as the Jin summons cleaning flames. He feels as if something strange. He uses his spirit vision, which allows him to see the reality and nature of the world. He wonders why the web of laws is shaking as if the world is trying to repel the arrival of powerful beings. At that time, he receives a letter from Miss Wang Yun, the director of the childcare center, telling him to visit his daughter. And if he will not visit, then his daughter will be handed over to the relevant state agency as per the regulation. There is a link to their website. He checks the website and feels it is authentic, so he calls to book an appointment. The lady known as Wang Wan picks up the call and reserves an appointment for 2 p.m. the next day. He agrees to come to the appointment and thinks that he will see what nonsense they have planned. A little girl who is holding a teddy bear approaches Wang Guan and asks her if her Aunt King will come to pick her up. Director Wang tells her that they were unable to contact her aunt and she talked to her daddy just now. The little girl's eyes lit up after hearing about her dad. Next, we see Guan holding a box and following a maid inside a room where a meeting is going on. In the meeting, a girl is presenting about the progress of a project of Jingyan Xingcheng, which is facing an obstacle in relocating to Linjiang town. The girl explains that the Zhao family has not contacted anyone as of now, and if the approval is passed, they can begin construction work early next year. The maid who is escorting Guan approaches Yon Bain and tells him of Guan's arrival. Yon Bain is the successor of the Hangzhou Jinfu group and is mixed in with this shady business. He asks the maid to let Guan in. He warns Guan that if something is not worth his time, Guan will have to face the consequences. Guan presents the coin to him. Yuan Bai gets mad that Guan is presenting an insignificant coin. Another man, a transdescent, Shen Mingzi, the descendant of one of the big 7 families, the Chen family, and his cousin Ye Jingshu are present. They test the coin and confirm it is a transdescent object. They all get shocked that this world contains a law object. Chen Mingji asks Guan, who is visibly shocked about the origins of the coin. Guan tells him that this was sold to him yesterday by a young man in armor and that he has his number. On the other hand, Zhao Yi is seen arriving at the police station. He runs into Uncle Zhang outside of the police station and Uncle Zhang is happy to see him. He asks Zhao Yi where he was and Zhao Yi says he went on a long journey. Uncle Zhang gives him a copy of the demolition agreement. He tells him that the people behind this are very influential, and if something happens, Zhao Yi must tell him before acting. Uncle Zhang then excuses Zhao Yi as he has some work. Zhao Yi looks at the agreement and burns it. He receives a text from the childcare worker and stretches his wings and flies off. He arrives at the childcare center and meets the secretary who asks him to wait. He feels that the institution is authentic, so what is the matter about his daughter that he doesn't remember? Young One arrives with Zhao Bior, and his spirit vision confirms that she is his direct descendant. Young One greets him and tells him that she is the one he talked to on the phone yesterday. She tells him that this girl was left there 3 months ago by Miss Sun Guangqing. She told them to contact him if she is unreachable, and now the time has passed, so they contacted him. Zhao Yi wonders who the Su Guang is, while Zhao Ber clings to him. When Young One asks if he will take Zhao Ber home, he agrees. Young One tells her that they need a paternity test to confirm he is the father and then he can take her, but they can't send her until the results come. He greets her and leaves and thinks that he will have to solve this demolition matter before he takes his daughter home. Later, at home, he drinks tea as the Din serves him, and they talk about the demolition and Zhao Yi states that they will have to take precautions and stay on guard. The Din suggests that this job can be done by a gargoyle. Zhao Yi uses the same ring to summon the gargoyle, pays him a gold coin, and asks him to keep the house safe. That's when he gets a call from Guan. Guan introduces himself as the one he sold the coin to and asks if he remembers him. Zhao Yi confirms that he remembers and asks why he called. Guan asks if he has any more coins and that his store would like to buy some. Zhao Yi thinks about how the law coins are the lowest level of law artifact in Sadia, but only top wizards are skilled enough to make them. But he would have never sold it for 40,000 yuan if he didn't require the money urgently. He sternly declines Guan's offer, but Guan insists that he will pay a high price. He asks whether they'll pay 10 million for it, and Guanbin signals Guan to agree to the price to see if Zhao Yi will demand such a high price. Guan informs Zhao Yi that they are willing to pay 10 million to buy his gold coins. Zhao Yi thinks in the back of his mind that Guan's backers can differentiate a good item. He agrees to sell the coins for 10 million each. Guan tries to argue that it is ridiculous, but Zhao Yi firmly states that it's the only deal he's willing to accept before hanging up. Wabin gets very mad at the disrespect from Zhao Yi. He shouts and orders Guan to investigate the phone number and find out where he lives within an hour. Chen Mingzi lends 2 of his men. Guan finds Zhao Yi's home and arrives with goons. A goon kicks his door and enters the house but is attacked by the gargoyle. The goons start to run, but 2 Transcendents, Clown and Wild Boar, who work for Chen Mingji, get ready to fight the gargoyle. As they charge to attack, Zhao Yi arrives and defeats them with a single move. Guan runs away on his motorbike and Zhao Yi puts tracking magic on him. Xiao Yi gets a call from Youngwon, who asks him to come to the childcare center. He orders the Dijin and Agu to clean up and he flies away. Xiao Yi comes outside the childcare center and calls Youngwon to come outside. As she comes out, she sees him holding a giant teddy bear. He asks her to give it to the Xiao bear as he doesn't want to come inside. She asks why that is, and he informs her that he doesn't know how to get along with kids. Youngwon insists that he goes inside as this will mean a lot for Bayor, and he agrees. They go inside and Bayor gets very happy to see him. Bayor asks him to play gobang with her. He keeps on defeating her, which makes Bayor sad. Youngwon whispers to him that playing with children is not about winning, but about interacting with them. Xiao Yi gets a text from Uncle Zhang asking him to come to the police station, as something from the Fang family is there. He excuses Youngwon and promises to visit again to play with Bayor. At the police station, 2 men are shouting at Uncle Zhang because their application got rejected. When Xiao Yi arrives, the men are shocked to see him. They try to act friendly with him and ask why he didn't inform them he is back. He shrugs them off, stating he is not close to the Fang family. The man claims that despite what he says, Fang's blood flows in his veins, and Xiao Yi coldly replies that his surname is Zhao. The other men get angry and threaten to beat Xiao Yi. He demands that Xiao Yi hands over the land and calls him a bad name to his mother. This angers Xiao Yi, and he seems partially transformed into a monster, causing that man to fall back and wet his pants. Xiao Yi threatens them and tells them to go back to tell the people behind this to stop thinking about his mother's things and to not behave like hungry wolves. After that, he greets Uncle Zhang and leaves. Uncle Zhang is shocked by seeing Xiao Yi like this and wonders what happened to him. The next morning, Agu helps Xiao Yi get dressed and asks him where he is going. Xiao Yi tells him that he is heading out to find a job, and this surprises Agu.